Good morning, everyone. Hopefully we all had a good weekend actually. Today we are starting our second remediation. This will be another week long, I think. This one will be more fun, more interesting, because it's such an unusual event that took place. This is the one where I was called out because water was coming, or excuse me, oil was coming up from the ground. It was purging out, and then a trail was being left down about 40 feet. Didn't know what it was. This was right when the snow was melting. Couldn't tell. So when I went out there and observed, we thought it was an overfill off of the fill pipe. It's not. There was a hole in the bottom of the tank, and the oil was traveling in an area underground because water was taking it, and then there was a pocket where it purged up from the ground and then pushed out and down. Now unfortunately that all takes place right around his septic tank and down over his leach fields. So that's weird. That's the interesting part to me. That's the fun part here, to try to do this remediation, pull it all out and not damage his leach field. I know we're not going to do any damage to the septic tank. I think it's a concrete 1,000 gallon tank. I'm familiar with those. But where the legs of the leach fields go, got no indication on where they are. There's nothing metal, so we can't use a metal detector. So I'm going to use a hand probe to try to find it and dig around it. Now if this, you know, as I always tell you, water and liquids and oil, it travels to the path of least resistance. So in a septic leach field, it's all stone. So there's a lot of path of least resistance down there. So if a lot of oil has purged or made its way to the leach field, it's actually going to go into his leaching field, which you'll probably say, you know, urine and what's a little bit of oil? Well, it makes a lot. It clogs up his drainage system. So eventually it loses its perk. So that would have to all get dug up. That would be my first I've ever done that. I mean, I know I could do it. I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know how that works. But we'll figure that out. That's the interesting part, folks. You're coming along with me, too. Good morning. We have reached our destination here. We're going to lay out all ground protecting mats right there. May have to trim that tree because the triaxle is definitely going to hit it. So the triaxle will actually sit here with rear tires while I load it up. I'm not sure whether you can remember, but we took out that I don't know, 8x8 platform, which was right over that hole, and then it had a set of stairs going up and then the stairs going down. We dismantled all that. There was a tank under here. We removed the tank. We have the tank over there now temporarily. We'll reinstall it. We were going to install it here, but it's going to be in the way. So this is the area where, when he initially called me, here's all the oil that had purged up and out, and it went all the way down. To the final resting point right here. And all here are the legs of his leach fields. I don't know if the camera shows it, but how you can see a line of lighter grass, that's where the legs of the leach field go. So We got a probe here today. We're going to try to find the PVC piping. Should be 24 inches below grade. So I've got to investigate that. The septic tank is right here. That's the lid for it. It's got to be dug up all around it. And then this all has to get dug up where the tank actually was. So this is where the initial, so once this is all completed and backfilled, we got to do a reinstallation for his above ground tank. That, if you notice, folks, I don't see any rust on the legs. Below you may see something. Those are shims, but none of it's rusting, because all we do is paint them. All you got to do is paint them. So this is going to be a tricky area. I'm going to have to actually swing the bucket up, around, over, and then into the back of the triaxle. So it's a fun one. We're going to start down there and run our investigation. I'm going to take one scoop first, do a PID reading on it just to see how bad it is. Here's where the mats are. Now we got to get these things out. We're gonna take these out by hand. We got 4 people here. I'm not gonna track the machine up all the way over this. And the work begins. Okay, so that's not bad. It's pretty protected. He's gonna have to do some fairly good driving. Would be good if that car was out of the way. So we've got this entire driveway protected now. There's nothing more that you can do for the driveway other than plating it, but these mats do almost as good as the plate when the substructure beneath is firm, like asphalt. And that's that. Now the fun part, trying to excavate and not destroy his leach field. All right, Craig is just gonna give me the outline here of the septic tank. We went inside and looked, and right beneath this is the discharge from the home. So it goes out to the tank. So when we're excavating this, I want to stay away from that discharge. If he gets that outline for me, I'll have a good idea. So we're going to go down there now, do a little probing, and we're going to take some PID readings just to see what the levels are. So I'm just going to try to get some kind of idea of, I want to see what it's made of. So if you probe gently, you can tell whether it's a fiberglass, plastic, or a concrete tank. Yeah, that's definitely a plastic tank. So now we have to be even more careful, and it doesn't look like it's deep. So we took some PID readings of this going all the way down, extremely low levels. So I think that we're good with that. But we're going to open this void up. Probably over the next week we'll get a little bit of a rainstorm. We'll see if anything purges back up and out of that. Last thing I want to do is dig up the legs on a leach field. So we've opened it up now. We've gotten most of this all surface, which smells terrible. Let's just see if anything is purging up now. I mean, it's soft, but there is no odor. Yep, I think it just purged up out of that ground and then drained down the surface here. So we're waiting on the truck. So when I excavate here, I'm gonna have to swing around. So I gotta go over all of his sheds here, and we just put plastic on it because this is gonna get wet because it's a high water table. So it's gonna get messy here a little bit. And we are waiting for our first truck. What time is it?
10:07.
10. That's a pretty darn good guess right there. So we got almost an hour waiting for the truck. Maybe he'll come early. All right, our driver has shown up 1 hour and 7 minutes late. Make sure he doesn't roll off the edge of the driveway, Craig. Tell him, stop him. Stop him right there. Stop. These guys are amazing, man. Because then they come out and say, you know, sorry, man, did the best I could. There you go. Now you got to reset.
I watched the whole ground.
Yeah, he would have destroyed that. Liability everywhere. Bottom of the foundation is right there. That's the concrete slab right there for the garage. There's no basement. So this is all trapped water underneath the house. So that's a good reason why the tank was always wet or in water. So that water now, so when you do a basement, you pour your concrete slab on about 4 to 6 inches of stone. You can see there's red oil coming back from that subfloor in there. So that means when the water table was rising here, it would push the oil into that area. Now we've created a path for that trapped, purged water to go that had the oil on it. And there it is. So you're probably wondering where all this water is coming from. This area is traditionally a high water table. Where I'm walking, it feels wet. So there's a lot of moisture build up right here. And somehow in the front, it's getting beneath the subfloor of the garage here. You know, that's a 4.5 inch slab, and below that is 6 to 10 inches of stone. Water is trapped in there, and as the rise and fall of the water table pushed and pulled the oil out from that, through these holes in the foundation, pushed it under, and you can see it bleeding back out now. That's red oil. So I will, and honestly, contamination pretty much cleaned up. It's all surface stuff. It's all free product. I've taken out about 26 tons. I got maybe another 18 there. It's just that. We've arrived on site here. We've got the truck already here. That's good. Greg has avoided that. He'll dewater that hole. He'll finish excavating. Got a little bit of cleanup here to do. Take some PID readings. All things considered, this one turned out pretty good, I think. Everybody will be happy here. Nothing more has purged back up here, so none of it was trapped, which means it was all surface. See down here. Yeah, that's not wet. That's good. Initially, I thought this was going to be horrible. We're going to get some wire brushes and we're going to clean that little bit of staining on top of the foundation there. So you can see where you still see some gray there. We just did a PID reading on that. That's the low 20s. So that looks good. Yesterday I only saw contamination here, so we've gotten all of that. Like I said, not a lot of soil contamination. Everything was sudden and impactful with the water. Purged it up and out. We're going to, there's no reason to hire a vac truck to pump that out either. There's about 300 gallons there. So we'll utilize our trash pump and we'll pump it out into ours. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, is he still better than me?
Do they know?
No, there you go.
No, wait. He told me to go slow. He wanted the video, you know?
Oh, okay.
Have an hour.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I had to.
See you next time.
All right, then. So there it is.
No, I had to say
it was
it.
clear as day. I just asked him.
You told me to slow down. I
Oh,
was
man. All right, so we're going to use a trash pump. There's nothing there. That was weird. Yesterday, I thought it was going to be horrendous. And that's cleaned up. So we'll backfill today, finish backfilling tomorrow, and then we'll finish that. So that's it, folks. And we'll head on to our third remediation after this.
I could hook him back this way a little.
Alright, so we recovered. It was probably a little over 200 gallons. We just put it into our holding tank. Didn't need to get a vac truck out here. And we're putting all this crushed concrete back. As you can see, it's mixing with a little bit of the small amount of water that was there. That's going to turn to solid concrete, which is actually going to seal that entire wall where you saw the water purging out. I'm sure there's holes along this entire foundation, but it was a small amount of water, oil that was collected and trapped. I expected a lot more when I came back here this morning. So the amount of water that was trapped and purged all bled out through here. We recovered all the oil that was there. As soon as we get that up higher, you can see the dark spots staining along the foundation. I'll wire brush that and clean that up, and just go slow here. This concrete product's going to be very good for this spot. It's going to harden it up solid, and that's it. This is going to be an easy one, and I thought it was going to be much worse. You don't even know how bad I wanted to remove this stump. I'm waiting for the homeowner to wake up to get permission, but I am concerned a little bit about any of the roots that come out here, because it looks like the first leach field leg is right about here. But boy, do I want to remove that. They probably want it removed also, right? What do you think? Should I just do it without asking? It looks so much better. Lincoln Park.
R.I.P.
We're going to get the bulk of this off now, let it dry up a little, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll simple green that. That's just such a small amount right there. And there's nothing on the other side. There's no staining coming through the wall at all. There's a little bit over there on there. We'll let that dry back up. This base is nice and firm now. So we'll let this bind up for a day. We'll compact it. And then we will come back tomorrow with clean fill. Start laying it out, and then we'll finish this up. I've just got permission to remove that.